The drama surrounding Manchester United's 2025-26 season is unlike anything the Premier League has seen in years. For more than a decade, this club has lived under the weight of its own history, haunted by the towering shadow of Sir Alex Ferguson, and crushed by the constant churn of managers who promised a rebirth but delivered little more than short-lived hope. 8 managers came and went in just over 10 years, each with a different vision, none able to restore United to the heights where they once reigned supreme. David Moyes barely lasted a year. Louis van Gaal's methodical football brought an FA Cup, but no sustained success. Jose Mourinho declared a second-place finish his greatest achievement at the club, a damning statement that summed up the new reality. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's nostalgic charm could not disguise the lack of silverware. Erik ten Hag's disciplined methods yielded to domestic cups, but fell apart under the weight of an identity crisis. Each regime ended the same way: fragmented squads, waning confidence, and a fan base left clinging to memories instead of celebrating the present. When Ruben Amorim walked into Old Trafford, the club was at rock bottom. The 2024-25 campaign had produced the lowest point tally in the club's Premier League history. 15th place, just 42 points, only 44 goals scored, 18 defeats. It was worse than the Moyes disaster season, worse than any United fan could have imagined. The identity crisis wasn't just visible on the pitch, it was embedded into the walls of Carrington. Amorim knew that the first job wasn't to win matches, it was to strip the club down to its foundations and rebuild everything, from the inside out. And now, less than a year later, Amorim made it clear this wasn't a quick-fix project. He wasn't here to patch the holes and ride out a couple of seasons before the inevitable sacking. He wanted a legacy, 20 years if possible. That mindset alone made him different from every manager who had followed Ferguson. While others had chased short-term results, Amorim was prepared to sacrifice immediate glory for long-term dominance. He spoke openly about surviving the storm, about enduring the difficult days because he knew what was coming on the other side. His vision was precise, uncompromising, and built on a single. The medical and nutrition departments were rebuilt with elite specialists to put an end to the endless injury list that had derailed past campaigns. Leadership inside the dressing room was restructured, placing the outdated single-captain model with a captain's group, a core of trusted players responsible for maintaining standards, resolving issues before they spiraled, and ensuring the squad stayed united. Training was intensified, a code of conduct was introduced, and high-profile players who didn't fit the new mentality were shown the door. Jadon Sancho, gone. Antony, gone. Even Marcus Rashford, a player many considered untouchable, was moved. Amorim wasn't here to manage egos, he was here to build a machine. And this machine has already begun to take form. The £200 million frontline that is less an attacking trio and more a declaration of war. Cunha brings technical brilliance and flair, a creator who thrives in the half spaces and destabilizes defenses with his intelligence. Mumo offers raw power, direct running, and relentless work rate, the kind of winger who terrifies fullbacks. Zacco, towering at 6'4", is the cold, clinical finisher United has lacked for years. A striker who can hold the ball under pressure, win aerial duels, and stretch defenses with devastating runs in behind. Together, they're the spearhead of a new era. A trident that could shred even the tightest Premier League defenses. But Amorim knows this project isn't just about attack. His 3-4-2-1 system is a finely tuned structure where every player has a role in both phases of the game. 3 center-backs anchor the defense, wing-backs push high to create width, and 2 midfield pivots hold everything together. The system demands intelligence, positional discipline, and relentless energy, and it only works if the pieces fit perfectly. That's why he's targeted to more signings that could turn United from a top 4 contender into a genuine title threat: Carlos Baleba and Gianluigi Donnarumma. Baleba, his 21-year-old midfield enforcer, is the kind of player Amorim's system craves. Mobile, physically dominant, and tactically astute, he can shield the defense, sweep up danger, and launch attacks with driving runs or long diagonals. He reads the game like a veteran, knows when to step into challenges and when to drop back to protect his backline. United's current midfield, anchored by a fading Casemiro and an attack-minded Bruno Fernandes, simply cannot cover the ground required in Amorim's setup. Baleba could change that instantly, giving United the defensive steel and transitional control they've been missing for years. The Italian is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. His departure from PSG has opened a rare window of opportunity. United's current goalkeeping situation has been plagued by inconsistency and costly errors. And Amorim knows that without an elite presence between the posts, his team's progress will always be vulnerable. Donnarumma is more than just a shot stopper. He's a leader, a match winner, and a player capable of turning a season with a single save. With Baleba locking down midfield and Donnarumma commanding the penalty area, United's weaknesses would evaporate. The spine of the team would be transformed: Zeko leading the line, Cunha and Mbeumo orchestrating chaos in the final third. Baleba patrolling midfield, a rejuvenated back three launching attacks from deep, and Donnarumma as the unbreakable last line of defense. It's a structure built for control, for dominance, for intimidation. The scary thing is, United won't have the distraction of European football this season. Fewer matches mean more rest, more preparation, and more time for Amorim to perfect his system. That's a luxury few top Premier League sides will have, and it could give United an edge in the most crucial part of the campaign. The margins at the top are razor thin, and in a league where intensity can break even the most talented squads, Amorim's men could find themselves fresher, sharper, and more dangerous than anyone else. This isn't the Manchester United of recent memory, stumbling from one identity crisis to the next. This is a United side being forged with intent, with every signing, every tactical adjustment, every piece of infrastructure change pointing toward the same goal: new dynasty. A Ferguson still looms large, but Amorim is no longer trying to chase that past. He's building something that could stand on its own, something that could make Old Trafford the most feared ground in England once again. If the final pieces fall into place, if Baleba walks into Carrington and Donnarumma pulls on the number one shirt, this United will not just be good, they'll be relentless, they'll be calculated, they'll be terrifying. And in a league where the difference between glory and failure is measured in moments, this might just be the moment Manchester United stop talking about the future and start taking it.